Good afternoon, everyone. We will call the Urban Enterprise Association meeting to order. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We will open up public comment. I don't see any public comment, and so we will close public comment. Move down the agenda to the minutes from September 17th. Any corrections, additions to the minutes?
No, I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Second. Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the minutes are approved. Moving down to the claim docket. Mary Ann, do you want to take us through the claim docket, please?
Yes. There are 4 payments, 4 checks. One is for my services. One is for...
Mary Ann, is your mic on?
No. You want me to scream? No, it's not working.
Maybe try that. Oh, I don't know how far that, oh, yeah, there we go.
Okay, we have 4 payments on this month's claim docket. One is for consulting services. Another is for a code enforcement officer for the month of September. There's a third one for waste management for the dumpster that is out by the street department for the month of September. And then there is a grant payment to Downtown Law, which is Costanza, da-da-da-da-da. And they're over on Jefferson in the next block. And they've moved, finished the construction, the rehab. And I think they opened maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yep. Any questions about the claim docket? If not, take a motion to approve.
A motion to approve.
Thank you, Ryan. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And I abstain from voting.
We got 1 abstention. Anyone opposed? All right, the claim docket is approved. Monthly financial statements. Anything to note, Mary Ann?
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm making notes. In the board packet, you received the bank reconciliation statements. Mike had asked me to include those in the board packets for the board to review. So that will become a recurring insert in the board packet. And there, we had an issue with QuickBooks in that it added 2 checks into the checking account statement. In QuickBooks, it duplicated these checks from August. John Angelos came over to try to correct it, and he was unable to. And what we think happened, the computer is old. The laptop is probably about 12 years old, and things are starting to fail. So I sent Mike an email and said, we have money in the budget for a new laptop and for software. I'm going to go ahead and get it because I don't know how reliable that computer is. Even though I back everything up from QuickBooks, it makes me nervous when these things, and John told me, he said, when you balance everything next month, those 2 checks should come off the financials.
We haven't bought a computer since, I don't know, it's.
12 years?
Yeah, so it's been a while, so it's probably time to upgrade that technology.
Right, and the other thing is Roscoe from the city IT, he took a look at it, and everything is switching to Windows 11. It won't accept Windows 11 because it's too old.
So does the city not have an IT as far as like where they track the year of the computer equipment and then on a routine basis update that?
They do for city equipment, but this is UEA equipment.
Okay, so that's independent. Okay.
So I assume at our next meeting, you'll have that, will be
Right.
upgraded at that point?
Right.
Okay.
I'm hoping everything washes out, and if I still see it, I'll call John again, and we'll try to figure out something. But I'm also
John
hoping.
Angelos is the accountant that we work with, so just so everyone knows who
Yeah.
John is, right?
And he's been doing it for years. So anyway, that's what's going on, but we have a significant balance. In the checking account, we have $114,270. And the reason why that's so high is because there's several checks that didn't clear. And
Mary Ann, you have on here an update on the encumbered funds. Is there anything you want to note in that section?
Lowe's Point incentive was paid at the beginning of this month. Lincoln Walk was paid. About the only ones that are still open are the Parks Department and the downtown art projects. And that one won't get paid until next year, according to the agreement we have with the artist. We'll pay them $1,500 next year, probably in June, I believe.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Mary Ann?
One thing real quick, back to the laptop. Is there anything that we have to do as a board to approve did you get a cost on a new laptop?
I have not checked them out yet.
Okay.
I'm going to look at Walmart, I'm going to look at Amazon.
Yeah, I'm thinking if we're gonna do it, might as well get it done sooner versus later.
Right.
Before you have any other problems.
Well, it would probably make sense to use Roscoe, right, to
Yes.
procure the equipment through the same channel that the city gets their equipment. So I would suggest maybe we just reach out, let him know what you're
I've
looking.
already talked to him already and asked him, what do we need? And he checked some out, and he found a Dell off of Amazon. And then we're going to need to upgrade software. And we figured it was going to be Office 365, QuickBooks, and Adobe. And those are usually, nowadays, those are a subscription. You pay like a monthly subscription for that. And Mike wanted everything in the UEA's name for the subscription, but I will end up paying it on my credit card and then submitting a reimbursement for it on the claim docket because we do not, the UEA does not have a credit card.
Is it wise to approve a certain dollar amount today?
Microphone.
Is it wise to approve a certain dollar amount today so that you can act over the course of the next month, up to a maximum dollar amount?
We have $1,000 budgeted for new equipment and software, so I just hope it's enough. If it isn't, if it's going to go over by a couple $100, what I can do is, with your permission, do a email vote.
Now, as far as the monthly subscription, are you gonna have that coming on your credit card?
It will have to.
I'm not sure if I think that's, we got, I think we'll have to figure out a different way.
Yeah.
That-
I
that-
think
Okay.
they can do it by the year. I pay by the year.
I think they can too.
I think I.
But we're still going to need a credit card to pay it. You pay it by a credit card or a debit card.
Should we get a credit card?
I don't think we want to open that door, but let's do this. I don't think you using your credit card is the appropriate way. So I'll get with Mike and we'll look into what the options are. I think maybe what makes the most sense is for you to go ahead and get costs associated with all of this. And then we'll just plan on you emailing us with the exact costs as well as what the plan will be for how we're going to pay for those services. And then the board can just vote on it from there. That'll be simple. We have all the information at one time and everybody can be comfortable.
Visa gift cards work wonderful.
And, you know,
Just
you mentioned that Roscoe said he mentioned Adele, but going back to what you said, maybe he doesn't realize we should probably have the same type as the city does. So maybe that's not the Dell. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he just found one or two.
There's quite a few different types of computers in the city.
Right, but I mean, through the city,
Yeah.
okay, so.
I'll connect with Roscoe too. We'll email the board with everything and we can vote on it and then go forward from there. Anything else on the financial statements anyone has questions on? Okay, can I get a motion to approve the financials, please? Thank you. Is there a
So moved.
second? We have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, the financials are approved. Move down to old business, the logo, Marion?
You received the logos in your board packet, and it's also in the packet at your place setting. It's towards the back. And I want to publicly thank Lindsay from LEAP and Jessica from the city for putting together these templates for us to review and vote on. They did two different types. They did like a round one, and then they did one that's rectangular but a little bit more compact than the current logo. And there's color. And they tried to use the block of buildings on Lincoln Way across from the courthouse.
I'm going to suggest we just let Bill Gertner make the decision, and then that way everybody can direct their hate at him if they don't like the logo we come up with. No, all kidding aside, does anyone feel strongly about any of the concepts? And I do agree with Mary Ann, appreciate Jess and Lindsay putting the time and effort into coming up with some options for us.
I think my concern in looking, and you know, you have to keep in mind with logos, obviously the color ones are the pretty, but you have to think that the black and white ones have to be looked at as well. I do like the concept one,
I'd like that better.
but when you look at it in the black and white, I'm not real thrilled. I mean, I don't know if maybe there were spaces I don't know, it's just, because the colored one I really like because it does represent the downtown. But like I said, you have to think of the black and white, and to me, when I look at that black and white of that one, which kind of is the same one as the circle one, yeah, I'm not real.
Now,
Looks kind of like just a dark, scary prison.
Was part of the reason for looking into a new logo so that it fit in line with other logos that we're often paired with?
No.
Meaning that it didn't fit very well the way it was before.
I think it was mostly just that that logo was created in the 80s, if I remember.
It was
and so-
in
The elongated logo, don't like it.
2001.
2001.
2001, and the current logo is extremely difficult to put on a banner or marketing pieces. So that's why they came up with the rectangular one, but it's more compact. And then they also came up with a circular one, because that one will fit better on stationery.
You know, and that one might not look bad if it had maybe some spacing in the buildings, maybe the buildings were a little bit different from each other. I mean, I agree, that one as far as, because, you know, when you size a logo, you have to keep it proportional, so that's gonna size better than a long, like the current one, which is so long. But, just some thoughts.
Well, the other thing we can do too, if we have one of the concepts that we like better, we don't have to make a decision today. We can go back, and I'm sure Jess and Lindsay will be willing to maybe take a little bit of our feedback and adjust course. Vicki, it sounded to me like you liked concept one, maybe pending some changes. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, and like, I guess probably if I had to pick one over the other, I would say concept one. And like I said,
The
when it's in
bright tones or the muted
I
tones?
like the muted tones.
Okay.
And when it's like that, it looks really nice. But like I said, you just always have to keep in mind that there are times when it's gonna be used in black and white, and that's just, so.
I mean, we don't have to use it in black and white.
Well, but there are a lot of times where maybe you're using it and cost-wise, you don't want to pay for it in full color. So then you go with the black and white, and like we use black and white on our meeting, you know, agenda every time. So you always, you know, whether you say, well, we don't have to use black and white, there may be times where you have to. So you just always want to keep in mind how it looks both in color and in black and white.
And that muted tones, I wonder why those first two buildings are the same color. Like, you look at the bright tones, those are two different colors? So that the two on the, oh, I see though. The first two buildings on the muted tones looks like one big building, and the bright tones look like two different buildings, if that even matters, but.
Ryan, did you have something else you want to share?
Yeah, I think in line with a lot of what other logos are doing right now, having it be equally high as it is wide is a good idea. Having it be elongated, then again, becomes a problem when it's paired against other things. Just look at the city, everything's squared off. And I think having it be squared off would just be a good idea.
Which is where that concept two would come in. And I don't totally
Either
dislike
circular
that
or
one.
square, yeah.
It's just maybe if there were some separations in the buildings and buildings maybe, but yeah.
I like the blue tone ones for concept two.
Okay.
It's not in there, but I think the blue tones actually would pop out the one building and give it, you know, if you look at the blue tones over here and maybe put it on concept two, I think that would look better.
You're talking about this one?
Yeah.
Bill, thoughts?
I like the circular view of it, but I think that including some color would be nice.
All right, so unless anyone is opposed, let's do this. I'll get with Jessica and Lindsay, give her our thoughts, and it sounds like maybe concept two might be the route. I'll have her work up a couple different options for that, and then we'll look at that for our next meeting. That sound good?
Okay, yep, yeah.
Okay.
And then, yeah, and have her give it to us in both the color and the
Yeah.
black and white.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Update on digitizing files.
I don't have any update on that.
Okay. Did we hire the company to do it yet, or we didn't?
Not yet, but we're going to take the company out of Chesterton.
Okay. All right, so next is discussion on adopting a waiver of non-compliance fee for the investment deduction. So we started this conversation at our last meeting and wanted to, sort of move that forward. I think over the years, we've had a number of waiver of non-compliances before the city council and the UEA board. Typically, it's not been many, one here or there every other year. We've had more recently, and I know we have one that is waiting right now as we speak. The recommendation is, and I guess when I say recommendation, it's coming from me because typically I've done the work in the past, is that we impose a fee in those scenarios that would cover the cost of the drafting the resolution and then approaching the UEA and the city council for approval. It's frankly just to cover the costs associated with it. Happy to have discussion about what the amount is. I just as a beginning place for the discussion, my thought was maybe $500 is probably about in the neighborhood of what the actual cost is by the time you factor in everybody's time, including the county that we file with, and that fee would just go to the UEA, and would be the funds that we use to complete that process. I can answer questions if you have them, or we can discuss it at more length if you feel it's warranted.
2 questions. Would that fee be applied unilaterally, 0 tolerance? It would just be applied no matter what.
Good question. I think there are, as I think back in my time here, there have been certain scenarios where with extenuating circumstances exist that maybe the fee wouldn't be appropriate. But for the most part, I think it would apply in most scenarios. I guess I'll give you the examples. These are just anecdotal, but in the event that somebody just forgot to file or slipped through the cracks, whatever it might be, I think the fee is completely appropriate. In a scenario where someone wasn't notified or, I think we just did one not too long ago, there was a change in ownership, they had the date wrong, then I think we always have the ability to go back and waive a fee if we so chose. Does that answer your question?
Mm-hmm. I wonder if we have the ability to waive that fee, if we wouldn't then waive it. So maybe not having the ability to waive the fee would be a good idea. Or what would we have to do? What would we have to consider to waive that fee? I know it's only $500, but I can imagine everybody being charged $500 for the first time is going to sit right there and say, hey, I don't want to be paying $500.
No, agreed. I would think as a matter of principle, if we're going to impose the fee, we're going to have to be pretty solid in the fact that it's going to apply in most scenarios. I think we always have the ability, it's going to be our rule, right? Mm-hmm. So we always have the ability to take special circumstances into account. But like the one coming up that you're going to see probably next month, there's a cost here, right? Mm-hmm. Even if we don't impose a fee, that's right. Completely fine. But the UEA board is going to have to hire an attorney to complete the process, and there will be a cost associated with
Mm-hmm.
that. So,
mm-hmm.
Do we have an idea on approximately what that cost is to the UEA?
Yeah, I think it's pretty close to 500 if you're asking for, the full range. The cost of just drafting the resolution itself, I would guess you're probably a couple $100, and then whoever is being engaged to present it is probably there's going to be a cost there as well.
The fee is silent in the Indiana code, so there is no requirement or an amount in the Indiana code for a fee, but this is something that the individual UEA wants to remedy, take care of, institute.
The control of UEAs is now at the local level, so I think you have plenty of, or we have plenty of runway to implement programs that benefit us as a board. Whether or not we choose to do that is probably a different story. I can't sit here and tell you, we could go the next 5 years and never have another one, another waiver of noncompliance. That'd be my hope. But we've had a number here the last couple years, which it may hint at a trend. It may not. It may just be a coincidence. I don't know. But either way, we being LEAP have done that work for the UEA before, and I just don't have the ability or the staff to do it, anymore. So we'll need to go outside for that.
And the cost would be the same, to grant one of these waivers, no matter what size the company is asking.
Yeah, it's
Gonna
just,
be the
it's just a process, right? So there's a document that's a waiver of noncompliance that's drafted, sent to the company for their approval. It's presented then to us as the UEA board, city council. If approved, then it has to be presented to the auditor's office at the county in order for the company to get their credit. I mean, those are the like rudimentary steps that have to occur. So it's the same whether it's a small or large. And that brings up a good question. We have a wide range of businesses that claim this deduction, from the very big to the very small. The very big case, you could have a significant savings, and so the $500 is not an issue. I'm sure we have, looking at you because you probably know, but I'm sure we have some companies on the smaller end who at $500 they may say, it just probably makes sense for me to not apply, and I'll just waive we'll chalk it up as I lost my incentive for this year. And that'll
And
be.
just because they missed filing, doesn't mean they can't file in the succeeding year,
Right.
as long as they have a qualified deduction.
So if you have it's a 10-year program, and if you miss in year 3, that doesn't mean the incentive ends. You just miss out in the savings in year 3. You would then apply in year 4. Your clock keeps ticking, and you can experience the savings in later years if you file timely, appropriately. Anybody feel strongly about any aspect of this?
I like the idea of anything that puts teeth in what we're trying to do. And if that's what that helps do, then I think that's a good idea.
Can we make a motion?
That'd be great.
Okay, I make a motion that we do this with a $500 fee.
Excellent. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, nay? Okay, this will be approved. So, Mary Ann, I think we'll need probably to note a policy on this.
Right.
So if we can do that, I'm preparing you that there will be, at our next meeting, you will have a waiver of noncompliance for the board to consider, or I believe you will have that. So we'll likely have that discussion in November.
And then will we be able to charge them that fee for the one next month?
We will. Right.
Okay.
And I'll make sure we note it with the county as well, just so they're aware of what our policy is. Okay, we'll move down to new business. We've got a business grant application for Enzo, 601 Michigan Ave.
They want to put a illuminated sign on the corner of their building. I think the bulk of it will face State Street, but you can see it from Michigan. They received a sign permit and an okay from zoning. So they are asking for $10,000. Well, let me double check that, because I
No, it
don't
wasn't,
think,
I don't think it was that much, and they only
Yeah.
had one quote. I want to say it was between like 7,000 and 8,000, or around there they were asking for, because, yeah, but they only had the one quote. Were they getting others, or?
they said that was the only quote they could get.
Yeah, so we were, Vicky, I know a little bit about this one. So it is a unique type of sign. We worked with, my team was working with Chip on finding potential companies that could provide additional quotes. I think we all know how hard signs are already because we're so limited, especially with this type of sign. So some of the recommendations that we made I know he reached out to and just couldn't, they don't do that type of sign.
It's a nice sign, I like it.
What's the amount, Marianne? Did you see it?
The total project amounts $15,810.80. They are requesting 50% of that, which is $7,905.40. And the quote came from Legacy Signs out of Westville.
Yeah.
And they have worked with several businesses in the downtown area within the past 4 or 5 years.
Any other questions for Marianne on this one?
The sign situation is becoming a difficult one with the 3 quotes over and over. Maybe this fall we address that overtly, because signs seem to be a problem.
Yeah.
But I'll make a motion if we're not expecting more, because that seems like a reasonable dollar amount, so.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Ryan. Signs and awnings seem to be the two that, we really struggle with. So appreciate the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Okay, that grant is approved. We have another business grant for 910 State Street.
910 State Street is Dudley Byler's company that is developing the old fire station or activity center for older adults. They are asking for funding, a grant in the amount of $10,000 to repave the parking lot. They're going to remove 2 to 3 inches of the existing asphalt and pour new asphalt and then stripe the parking lot. The total project is $41,000, and they're asking for $10,000. And they do have multiple quotes.
And Marianne, I thought I saw, he updated one of the quotes too to get a more recent bid. Is that what happened this week?
I received that estimate, I believe it was from Reith Riley.
Okay. We're just out of curiosity, the 3 quotes, were they generally in pretty close to one another?
No, yeah, there was one that
One
was
was
like
for
60.
46,000. One was for 36, well, actually, one was for 60,000. And another one was for 60,000. And I don't have Reith Riley's in the folder here.
But it was basically 4 quotes that were
Right.
provided, yeah. Okay. Any questions on this one?
No.
Anyone like to make a motion?
I'll motion to approve.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Okay, that is approved. Community Enhancement Grant?
Right. The Office of Engineering, or I'm sorry, not engineering, Community Development and Planning submitted a community enhancement grant for $500 to assist with costs for decorating Plaza 618 and replacing any wreaths, ribbons, bows, light bulbs for this year's holiday celebration. UEA funded them last year for $500. Part of the money will also go to purchasing the tree.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Vicki. Is there,
So moved.
Cassie, I'm sorry. I think I might have called you Vicki earlier, too. I apologize.
Who seconded?
I did.
Who seconded it?
I did.
Okay.
Julie. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, nay. Okay, that's approved. Before we get too far away from the grant discussion, I did ask Mary Ann, I'm on a roll today with people's names, who tried to apply for a grant and asked for consideration at this meeting?
April Kelly.
Thank you. April Kelly, just less than 48 hours ago, submitted an application for a business grant and asked for consideration at this meeting. I asked Mary Ann not to include it as part of your packet. I don't think it's enough time for us to review it. It's not, and I told April that happy to consider it, but I think it's unfair to the board members to expect everybody to be able to try and review that in such a short amount of time. So, two options for you. One, we can just include this as part of your packet for the next meeting in November, or we can consider it electronically in the interim. It sounds like we'll have one other item that that we'll look at with the computer situation as well. We can include this. It's up to the board, whatever your preference is. I'll be happy to work within that, but I'll leave it up to your discretion.
I don't remember, what was it for that she was asking?
She wants to add kitchen equipment and electrical upgrades to put in like a coffee bar.
And was it time sensitive that she needed this done right away?
I didn't see anything in the grant that made it time sensitive. Let me,
Marion, when your cursory review of it, did it look like everything was there as part of the grant? Because I think there was the application maybe wasn't included at first, or.
I don't have it with me. I think it's downstairs.
I personally think asking 48 hours, it's on, 48 hours ahead, knowing that they've had this for a while.
Yeah.
We're setting a new precedent that, you can just set it in at the, so I say I'd rather wait till next meeting.
Okay. I think that's fair, Cassie. I think Mary Ann does a good job of providing some flexibility around the time, so we ask for everything by the third day of the month. And I know that typically if you're around that point, Mary Ann will include it in the packets. That gives everybody plenty of time to review and for us to answer any questions or get any information. So I agree with that. I don't think we need to do anything, but I'll let her know that we'll consider at our November meeting. And our November meeting is actually a little earlier, isn't it, because of the holiday?
Well, we haven't set a date, for sure. We usually have it earlier in November, and it's our long meeting because we do our budgeting and strategic planning.
But either way, we can sort that out in a minute, but I'll let her know that it'll be at the next meeting.
November 19th would be the next board meeting, and then Thanksgiving is the week afterwards.
Okay. Item D is pricing on porta pots for the Stitch.
I haven't had time to get pricing.
Okay. So we'll push that to the next meeting?
Yeah, push that to November.
She was asking what the Stitch was. There's all kinds of names out there.
Yeah.
And her microphone's someone just pushed your microphone off to the side, that's why. See how it's pushed? It's way over.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
There
Yeah.
you go, perfect.
Yeah, no. No, and there's a couple names for that area down there, it seems to be.
Yeah. So we'll, Mary Ann, can we try and make sure we have those for the
Yes.
next meeting? Thank you. Item 9, any other business? Anything we didn't cover that needs to be covered? Mary Ann, did I forget anything?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Other than next month, 3 o'clock?
Is that an issue?
No. We typically do 3 o'clock for the strategic planning meeting and then the 4 o'clock meeting to the public.
Right.
Is that what we
Is
decided?
the
But the
19th?
19th works this year, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's fine.
It's a week before Thanksgiving.
Don't get that much time off work.
All right, so we'll plan on 3 o'clock for our strategic planning session, 4 o'clock for the regular meeting?
Right.
Okay. All right, I have no other business. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Meeting is adjourned.